What are you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm just enjoying the summertime. Why don't you come out and join me? Having a grand old time out here with the snow.
But it's March.
What?
Hey, do you enjoy the winter? Me neither. Summer break is arguably one of the most exciting times when you're a kid. Not only is it perfect outside, but there's so many things you could do, like go to a water park, go to a carnival, hang out with friends, eat a popsicle with your friends. Side note, I actually got in trouble for giving like 6 ice cream bars to my friends one summer. Mom, you're cramping my style. I just want them to like me, I'll pay back later. Stop it. And even if you're more inclined to staying indoors like myself, this solid 2 months away from school gave kids the opportunity to watch way more cartoons and play even more video games. Personally, I was always excited for summer break because it meant I could spend more time on my Windows 95 computer and play an endless amount of Flash games over on sites like Newgrounds and Cartoon Network. And if you spent a lot of time on the internet like myself, you'll probably remember a little game popping up many summers ago on the Cartoon Network website titled Cartoon Summer Resort. This was a really cool idea growing up because in the early 90s, Cartoon Network really popularized that whole idea of characters crossing over. This was a concept you'd frequently see not only in their advertising, but also in many of their shows as gag episodes. Putting together characters like Johnny Bravo and the cast of Scooby-Doo to see how they'd get along was not only hilarious, but stuff like this also had an influence on the imaginations of kids watching from all over the world. Kids are already super imaginative, and a lot of kids engage in roleplay. Heck, when I was a kid, I used to roleplay Ash Ketchum befriending Goku, and it also felt a bit meta because you're on vacation and your favorite cartoon characters were also taking a well-deserved break from their respective TV shows by coming together to hang out at a special resort. That would certainly explain the barrage of summer marathons showcasing reruns. I mean, did anyone else notice you'd never get new episodes of a cartoon during summer break? Just endless back-to-back reruns. I guess they're all in Fiji. So grab a cold drink, get your pool floaties on, and join me as I take you on a stroll down memory lane that is the Cartoon Summer Resort. The Cartoon Summer Resort was a fun exploration game segmented into 4 different episodes. However, each of the episodes all start off with a similar opening sequence which reads, "Welcome to the Cartoon Summer Resort. Your character is here for a well-deserved summer vacation. However, all is not well. Talk to the guest to find out what's amiss. Good luck." This was the main premise of every episode of the 4-part game, yet each episode had their own unique objective. In this open world game, you're essentially tasked with running errands and solving problems for different Cartoon Network characters like Cow and Chicken and the Powerpuff Girls in order to obtain items that'll help you to solve puzzles at the end of the game, which will allow you to progress to the next episode. Just like how every episode has a unique premise, the character you take control of in every episode is also different. You get to play some of the most well-recognized Cartoon Network characters that everyone knows and loves. I mean, who could forget such popular characters like Homer Simpson, Fred Flintstone, and Pickle Rick? All joking aside, at first glance, these might seem like a random assortment of characters quickly thought up for just the game, but in actuality, all 4 of these characters originated from failed Cartoon Network shorts that never got picked up for a full-fledged series. They were all lesser-known characters from the Cartoon segment that aired a pool of different original shows by both Hanna-Barbera and Cartoon Network, and every so often, one of those many shorts would be voted on and picked up to have their own series. Some notable cartoons to come from the Cartoon series were Dexter's Laboratory and the Powerpuff Girls. It's a nice added tidbit to the game, and kinda cool to know that they aren't just completely random characters. I see it as a neat way of giving the spotlight to characters that otherwise would have fallen into obscurity. I mean, it's a nice way of keeping those characters alive even if their cameos are brief. In episode 1, you play as Uncle Gus from the animated series, Uncle Gus. The objective is to help Buttercup refill the water that suddenly disappeared from inside of the public pool so that the guests can swim around and have a grand old time. In order to refill the pool, you'll need to find a wrench along with a number of items needed to seal the damaged pipes. Once you've collected all the necessary items and repair the broken pipes in the pump house, you can advance to the second episode titled Tennis Menace. You're now in control of the character Longhair from the short Longhair and Double Dome, and you're responsible for stopping Dexter's tennis robot from firing tennis balls at random, causing commotion and danger to the residents of the resort who just want to play tennis in peace. This can be done by collecting the right items to plug all 5 of the robot's lethal cannons. Stopping Dexter's robot then takes you to the third episode known as Vivian vs. the Volcano, where you star as Vivian from the Hanna-Barbera short Faux Pas. In order to advance to the fourth and final episode, you must save Courage the Cowardly Dog from an erupting volcano, not before having to rescue 5 other animals along the way. Uniting each distressed animal with a resident of the resort will yield 5 stones that can be used to unlock the entrance to the volcano, which will eventually lead you to a large maze where you must find Courage and escape before the volcanic eruption. And lastly, in the fourth and final episode, Disco Dilemma, you play as Prickles from Prickles the Cactus. In this episode, you're responsible for planning a giant disco party, and it's your job to help pair 10 characters together so that they can find their proper dance partners. In order to do this, you have to talk to the different guests, learning their interests, and from there it becomes much easier to figure out who would be a better dance partner with who. Once you've successfully played Matchmaker, the party begins, and the Cartoon Summer Resort game comes to an end with a funny little dance sequence, a perfect way to end off a great vacation. The Summer Resort is pretty much your traditional Flash exploration game, where you use the arrow keys to navigate along the map. While the game has the most straightforward and simplistic controls, with it being a fairly quickly whipped up game that probably didn't undergo very thorough bug testing, how many of you remember that constant wall glitching of your character sprite if your moves weren't incredibly concise? Sounds like you're being hailed by a bunch of coconuts. As a result, you end up almost using the arrow keys to essentially glide around, because simply going up and down will often have you running into stuff, which can kind of get annoying after a while. To make things a little more annoying, that catchy tropical tune you're hearing? Get used to it. It's the only track you're going to hear throughout all 4 episodes. Start the game, you're met with a puzzle right off the bat. You have to move the party bus blocking the entrance to the resort, but the mayor tells you that he's lost his keys, which you eventually find behind a bush that, let's face it, he most likely peed in before he lost his keys. I mean, what else are they doing in the bushes? He probably really had to go to the bathroom, but essentially locked himself out of the resort, leaving him with only one final resort. Kill me. The errand running in this game is really similar to tasks in Animal Crossing. A character will ask you for an item in exchange for what you need, so you have to go out and find someone else who has the item that they need to trade to them, but not before giving the other character an item that they need that you found in a tree, and rinse and repeat. As a matter of fact, hey, let's see what this guy wants.
Good Lord, man!
Is that Double D? Hey dude, long time no see. You ain't looking so good. You're all pale and pasty. He looks like he had an unfortunate accident with a printing press.
Hello! My name's Tyrone Biggins.
Some missions even require you to carry characters from one place to another. For example, Dee Dee asks that you take her to the duck pond, and she pretty much vanishes into your inventory. No questions asked. Quicker than Croc can swipe up a gobos. I'm sorry, aren't you like a little too big to be carried, Dee Dee? I mean, look at me. I'm some short and stout fellow, and Dee Dee's about tall enough to qualify for the WNBA. I actually enjoy her sprite design. She looks insane. It's so goofy looking and really exudes that exact amount of energy we'd expect Dee Dee to have. She looks like she's just waiting for you to chase after her. Wait, what? This is what you wanted to see? This is entertainment? I carried your butt how many miles just to see this? 5 manic-looking ducks who's circling one duck suffering from existential dread? One detail I really liked about this game is that they stayed very true to the characters' personalities through their character dialogue. I can totally believe what a lot of these characters are saying is actually coming from them having watched many of these shows. It's good to see that the people who worked on this knew to make dialogue true to each character, especially with what Mojo's saying. What? What's he trying to do? He wants to scare Courage? That's a little bit rude, Mojo, don't you? Oh my god! Yikes! Mojo, I commend you for this brave act of euthanasia. You're doing the guy a favor. Anyways, the dialogue is just great. The only thing that seemed a little bit out of character, which I noticed after playing again for the first time in years, was the fact that it seems like in episode 2, Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup's dialogue have all been swapped around on accident. Blossom seems way too bubbly here and even says hee-hee. Like only Bubbles says hee-hee. Blossom is more inquisitive and it seems to fit much more with what Buttercup's saying, along with Buttercup generally being more frank, which matches up nicer with Bubbles' words. Anyways, that's a heavy nitpick nitpick and a little unnecessary, but it's just a small error I'd noticed that I for some reason thought was appropriate for the video. Anyways, overall, the Cartoon Summer Resort has a lot of funny quips and reoccurring gags sprinkled throughout the game, and growing up, I remember this taking a lot longer to finish. Probably because I was a kid and because I was stupid. It takes about an hour to play through if you know where everything is. The game is consistent and easily digestible, with simple mission objectives, a great design, and overall funny character-to-character interaction, which I think plays a strong role in why many people remember this game out of all the other games on the website. It's like having fond memories of your own real-life summer vacation, except in Flash format. This was also widely accessible being a Flash game, but with it being so successful, I sometimes wonder how well it could have done if it was converted into a full-fledged console or PC game. Hey, I would actually consider playing a game like this today, especially with how diverse and expansive the Cartoon Network universe has become. But until then, the Cartoon Summer Resort will remain in my books as being an excellent Flash game of the mid-90s. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share it with your friends over at R Gaming or Twitter or something. Till my next video, I will see you guys later. Bye!
Beat the heat with the Digi Beat. All summer. Beat the heat with the Digi Beat. Digi Beat. The heat with the Digi Beat. There's something special happening on Digimon. All summer. Digi Beat. The heat with the Digi Beat. Digi Beat. The heat with the Digi Beat. Digi Beat.
Digimon, weekday afternoons and Saturday morning on Fox Kids. The Digibeat
Beats the heat.